Now to the Pentagon, where senior U.S. officials tell NBC News the Biden administration is increasingly concerned about the alliance between Russia and North Korea as the U.S. braces for potentially intensifying military actions from the countries ahead of the November election. NBC's Pentagon correspondent Courtney Kube joins us now from our D.C. bureau. So, Courtney, walk us through what your sources are telling you about the possibility of this threat.
So, Ellison, officials are bracing for the possibility that North Korea could engage in more provocative military action than the U.S. and the world have seen in the last decade. This could be everything from more missile tests with demonstrating new advanced technologies to even another nuclear test. It would be their 7th under this regime, or the possibility of some sort of aggressive action against South Korea. They're bracing for this in part because it's an election year. During election years, historically, North Korea has conducted more provocative activity, but they are also looking at the fact that North Korea now has this increasing, strengthening relationship with Russia, and that may be emboldening their behavior. And they are all looking towards the possibility that this activity could ramp up and even culminate right before the election in November, Ellison.
Talk to us a little more about that timing, because I do think, even though I heard you say there's this precedent for them ramping up before an election in the U.S., I think to a lot of us it's like, but why? What do they care? Are they trying to help this candidate or this candidate? Do we know why they tend to do that and why this election might matter more to them?
So historically, it's been for several reasons. Number one is just to sow chaos. Number two, they just want attention, right? During an election year, provocative behavior may get a little bit more attention because of the possibility of some sort of potential conflict. But in this case this year, the officials we spoke with said they are looking at the possibility that Russia may actually be encouraging North Korea to carry out more provocative action. Now, as part of this strengthening relationship, Russia has received millions of rounds of artillery and ammunition from North Korea that's already having an impact on the ground in Ukraine. But Russia, in response, is giving North Korea things like fuel and food, but they are also providing some military equipment and potentially some military technology, things like more advanced missile technology, even nuclear submarine technology. Officials here are concerned that that technology could provide them with that advancement that could make North Korea even more potentially confrontational or dangerous in the weeks and months ahead, Ellison.
What does the Pentagon or other U.S. officials plan to do in response to this? Is there any indication that they may take some sort of preemptive action on this?
Not at this point. So the two things that they're really looking at are strengthening alliances. We've seen a lot of that in recent months, strengthening specifically with Japan, with South Korea, with allies in the region. But the Biden administration has also made outreach, advances towards North Korea, attempts for some sort of diplomacy. Again, historically, when the U.S. and North Korea are talking, there is less provocative action by North Korea. There's a hope that maybe there'll be some sort of movement on the diplomatic front, but the reality, Ellison, right now, there hasn't been any kind of movement in that front.
Courtney Kube, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.